Yahweh family say that he has made me glad and rejoice. And with that being said, let's go and get straight into it. So this is two CEOs that are building a real life kill chain, essentially a Netflix, and you're the person they're watching. Let's go and get straight into it. So the Bible tells us in Exodus chapter 19, verse 19, and the cry of the shofar grew louder, and Yahweh answered. So that is my attempt to blow on the shofar. Still learning, it's a lot better than it was a few days ago, right? So pretty much go ahead and like, comment, and do something to boost the algorithm, because as you guys know, they suppress truth, shadow banning on other platforms. So if you like what I have to say here, if your spirit receive it, like, comment, and push through the algorithm so others can receive the truth as well. Also, shout out to my wife for basically Yahweh, through her being the creative genius. I kind of can get the information, can pack it, and execute it by the will of Yahweh. And she kind of can and makes it and gives it the colorful glow it has for us on these videos. So please, as much as you guys appreciate me, thank me in the comments. Also thank my wife for this, because this takes a tremendous time and energy. So with that being said, I love you guys. Let's go and get straight into it. Alex Karp is the CEO, or one of the CEOs we're mentioning here. I don't remember exactly everything, because it's been a minute since we wrote this part of the board, because it took a few days. But it said, the private is in red and the public is in black. So pretty much what you have is the private is in red, the public is in black. In private, he says, you have created the system which you call a kill chain. That's during an interview. Now in the red, Karp says for himself, for me, it's the kill chain. Now what do they mean by terminology? That's privately. Publicly, what it means is, what kill chain means is, in military terms, is basically you have robots, AI robots, drones, and drone warfare. Because I'm pretty sure Palantir and other companies such as them have contracts with the military as usual, right? Shady corporations manufacturing this stuff and selling it, or getting in contracts with the alphabet agencies, which we all know and love. Not really, right? So basically what these bots are designed to do is find whatever, fix it if it's an issue. They always that word fix, track, target. So they track you, target, engage, or assess, and then unalive. Okay. Series of decisions leading from identify a target to taking their life. Palantir's AI makes it quicker and better and safer and more violent, right? And so instead of in your warfare, instead of doing all this other stuff, now it's a lot of drone warfare like Russia, Ukraine, right? Let's keep on going. Real world use contracts with the Israeli Defense Forces. So basically, Palantir has contracts with the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, go figure, and they have used for target selection in Gaza post October 7th. And then former employee Juan Sebastian Pinto says, my whole world starts falling apart after seeing it in action. And we're just going to keep going down the list on the stuff side. And civilians, and basically has its hands in the health insurance. It's basically being used to basically deny claims, approve claims, basically running budgets for companies. And the IRS use it to basically find the easiest audit. So not only that, but this is also being pushed into the flock system as well. So I want to talk a little bit about the flock system as well, without reading off the whiteboard. But there's a lot of this stuff. But I've been seeing this crazy stuff about the flock system. Like, they'll have a whole bunch of cameras set up, right? You need to research this for yourself. It's called the flock system, where pretty much all these cameras are set up all over the place. And like, let's say if you go to, I don't know, Walmart, okay, and there's a camera, Walmart, whoever contracts or allows them, they'll track it at Walmart. There might be another flock camera and you go buy it, it reads your license plate, and it tracks and basically builds a database, like kind of like Life 360, but with actual visuals where you've been, and they're like basically live cameras. You know how they used to say Big Brother's watching? You know what I mean? Like Big Brother's watching, and it's like, those creepy movies where you have like 50 cameras, and you got the creep watching the people as, they're, the horror, and they're targeting the next victim. That's basically kind of how it is. It's pretty much throughout, especially the bigger cities now. It's coming to smaller cities as well, but you're let's say you're going here, and there. It's basically keeping a timeline of where you've been. And the thing about it is, what makes it so crazy is that regular people, without that much effort, or with some effort, of course, can basically get in and watch these systems. There's a case A few cases, if you look it up, again, this is not meant to be like a whole hour breakdown. This is just a general synopsis, again, to warn, blow the trumpet, to show far on certain issues, right? Everything I'm telling you can be found in the Word. This is all a part of Revelation 13, the beast system, okay? You have to think about it. The devil wants to be like Yahweh. He wants to be all-knowing, all powerful, wants to be omniscient, or I think omniscient, I think it's omniscient is everywhere at one time. That's the devil's version of being able to do that, right? Is by putting in this digital system. You have to understand that this digital system is going to be tied to the mark of the beast. It's going to be tied. This is how they're going to know who's what and where. This is basically how Satan is going to, again, he's going to try to be all powerful through, I guess the Antichrist, going to be all powerful through the military. He's going to be trying to be all knowing through the digital system. He's going to, forgot what the third one, or all knowing. I forgot what the other third one is that they say the Most High is, but you have to understand this system is big, except this is a real system, man. I think there's something that you can look up to kind of counter this as well that says, or on the internet, it says, have I been flogged? I don't know how legit it is, but a lot of people have been saying that, they found people that have, it's basically like a counter. You can kind of see who or what is looking at you. And police, some police officers have been using this to like stalk their exes. And it's kind of crazy because, again, it builds like a Life 360 profile of you, but for a private company, right? And anybody can just pretty much look in to see who's doing what and where, if you kind of know what you're doing. So it's very dangerous. And again, who's watching the cameras? It kind of reminds me of, like, I think it's the Purge movie. I don't remember what it was, but like you have this one creepo guy watching all the cameras, and it's like creating a digital log. And you got to think about how this is all going to be tied in. This is the same thing with Straight Up For Moose. That's another video that's probably coming tomorrow, Tuesday. Talking about the Straight Up For Moose. I'm going to go way more in depth on that than I am specifically with this, because there's so much more to this, and that's on this whiteboard. But it's a little easier to kind of pin down this whole AI thing. It's just so all over the place. You could start so many places. But the Straight Up For Moose is a pretty straightforward situation, if you ask me. But you have to really think about how this is going to be used. This is not something, I need you to understand that this is not something that's going to happen. This is something that's already being set up in the same way when we went inside in 2020 because of, the 19, right? When we went inside, the 5G towers went up, man. And they're prepared 6G. All this, every single time there's a new generation technology, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5G. Same year, around about the same year, has always been a crazy type of plague, man. Straight up. So imagine what's going to happen, because it's the radiation that's given off. Imagine what happens when 6G happens, right? Get it, 6G. All these systems are being set up for 6G. Okay, they're talking about 6G in 2030. And if they're telling you 2030, it's going to be before then. The infrastructure is all around you. Think about it. Apple Pay, right? What are you doing? Okay, you're taking your phone, your right hand dominant, and you're doing it. Okay, I don't use iPhone. Okay, that's cool. I know a lot of people I don't use iPhone. That's cool. Okay, but a lot of y'all still got debit cards, and y'all are using tap to pay. Same thing. It's getting you used to scanning. A lot of y'all have keyless cars as well. What are you doing? Most of you right hand dominant again. You're putting your hand like here. You're doing this on a Cassie system or keyless system. Go figure, right? So I'm not saying you're evil if you do that, but what I'm saying is everyone is universally being conditioned, and we're getting used to having no privacy at all. Again, this flock thing is way bigger than just what I'm even telling you. Like, this is going to be used to basically be surveillance for the beast system. This is basically, the flock system is one of the systems that are going to be the eyes and the ears of the beast, right? How do you think they're going to track people down? They have to use this totalitarian style digital system. They have to bring all this out. Again, look up, there are cops that are using this system to look up their ex-girlfriends. Imagine what the average Joe is using the system. Imagine what they're using it for, if that's what they're allowing, regular people or people in law enforcement or whoever. Imagine what they really have access to. Now, I don't tell you this to scare you, but to be a vessel to prepare your mind, heart, and soul. This is how they're going to control who's doing what and know who's doing what is by these systems, because it's systems, because at first, again, why do you think all this AI is coming out at one time, right? So you don't know what's real, and by the time everybody's so confused, by the time everybody's running around all these conspiracies, instead of, listen to the conviction that comes from the word, right? Listen to the word. They run around all these conspiracies. They're going to be ran out, so ran out that by the time something really does get it popping off, by the time, the Most High actually does give them, the assignment, go to the wilderness, or whatever the assignment is during the collapse. And when I mean assignment, I don't mean saving people, because at that time, you ain't going to save nobody when the bombs are dropping, bro, straight up. it ain't gonna be time. You didn't see that with the Moses and the Egyptians. After the final plague was set, there wasn't, they weren't out there trying to save them. Lot, when fire was raining down, wasn't trying to go back. So at the same time, 2nd Esdras 5:9 says, all friends shall conquer one another. Your mom's friend, your best friend, 10, 15, 20 years that she played football with 30 years ago, whoever, whatever, right? So I'm not telling you this again to scare you, but be a vessel, prepare your mind, heart, and soul. Because this system is real. Now, how do you avoid it? Again, what I recommend spiritually, the Most High is going to cover us. It says in 2nd Esdras 16 that they're going to throw a lot of us out of our houses. Verses 70 through 72, they're going to be like madmen, plunder our goods, try to destroy us. But verse 73 says that basically this is going to be done to show what's manifest in us, to show the gold that he's been trying in the fire, like basically show the fruit of us, and that he's going to, verse 74 and verse 75, deliver us from the days of tribulation that are at hand. So to do not fear, don't doubt the Most High, and don't fear, because verse 75, 2nd Esdras 16:75, he is our God. So yeah, don't be afraid. But let me go ahead and read the other side of the board, right? So you see Netflix, right? Or no, hypocrisy, level 1000. So basically this CEO calls, or Alex Karp calls DFlock, which is a group tracking his camera. So basically there's Flock, then there's Have I Been Flocked, which is how you kind of track who's tracking you, and then you have DFlock, which is a group tracking his cameras, which are tracking the cameras that are tracking you. And it basically, he labels them as a terrorist organization whose goal is chaos. So you see the hypocrisy, right? Okay. Now claims that Flock. So basically, the CEO claims that Flock is the best way to create a safe community. Meanwhile, freaks out when critics track his cameras. Go figure. The massive tech, I think it's Ben Jordan investigation. Dozens of Flock Condor P Part 2 cameras left completely public. So basically, the cameras are left completely public, which means half of them you really don't even need. For some of you don't even need passwords. You don't need anything. And then again, this is why I was telling you a lot of these cameras are easy access, right? Again, they're tracking the plates. The plates are associated to your name, right? Your plate, your plate's associated to your name. Your name is probably associated to your address. I mean, again, I'm just assuming how far it really goes, but once you get the plate, you get somebody's name, you don't have to do too much digging, man. So let's keep going. Also, you can get live footage. There's an example of this. I forgot, she wrote it down right here somewhere. Again, put it in the comment section if you're feeling me right now. Thank my wife for doing this, because it really takes a lot of effort to kind of color match and do all this. So basically, this also, it auto zooms in on phones, arguments, rollerbladers, anyone in a search engine can watch, kind of like Netflix. This is what pulls it back to, like, literally it's like watching Netflix, a live Netflix documentary in real time. They're basically the takeover, the takeover of humanity, right? So I have to keep on going full. I have to remember. Oh yeah, so basically there was a situation with a couple in Atlanta market, and it basically like zoomed in. I don't remember if it was on his phone or who or what, but they found out he basically had a disease. They had been in church and they were out going to a market. After they picked up on their whole conversation, not only can it track you in your car, but it can track your conversation. It can zoom in on your phone, see what you're looking at. Like literally, your whole day can be tracked by these cameras, right? A lot of y'all, we're so good at, some of us are so good at, being vocal on here. There's gonna come a time where we have to really go underground with this thing for real, man. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, it's gonna come a point of time where we really got to go underground with it. Like we ain't gonna be able to say a whole lot. And especially during the collapse, like, I doubt we'll even be able to be on the internet. Because there'll probably be EMP. But there's gonna come a point in time where like you're not gonna be able to say this stuff freely. So just kind of start thinking about your strategy, your routes, know your roads. Be able to function without the internet and without GPS. Keep a compass around. Start learning your sense of direction, your roads, nearest cities, nearest river basins. Start really learning this stuff, man. Again, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just trying to make you resourceful, right? I'm trying to be a vessel, prepare your mind, heart, and soul, okay? Preparation is spiritual first, mentally second, physical last. Spiritually, always, because you can be as strong as an ox, but if you have no spiritual direction, you're going to be consumed with every other person who's they see a warning like this, they might actually heed it. First thing they do is they go get big, get in the gym, whatever, start training. and then they just end up with a lot of hate in their heart being a Hebrew Israelite. You know what I mean? You know, they're big, yeah, sure, they probably bench 200 pounds, but it's like they can't lift any weight spiritually. That's why it crushes them. That's why there's so many like they have such a stony heart. They're not allowing Yahuwah to lift that weight. So, off their mind, off their heart. And ultimately, it's spiritual, but you do want to train. You do want to be able to be mobile. You want to be able to stretch. A lot of people talk about a second basis, talk about a bug out plan when they haven't even left the couch or left the house since 2020. It's sad, but yeah, not trying to discourage you, but I'm just trying to tell you the reality situation. Now, two CEOs, the same playbook. Palantir is the military kill chain, and then Flock is basically police surveillance. So basically, anyone becomes a stalker, and both claim safety while building a governance by algorithm for profit control. Your data is their product. Predicate-based search, AI engineering, and zero accountability. The real terrorist companies turning everyday life into a permanent searchable kill / stalker list. And again, they're already watching you. Again, now, so y'all gotta be careful about your movements for real, man. Especially y'all chosen, man. You think somebody's following you home, bro? Take 4 turns in the same direction. That's what my mom used to always tell me, bro. Feel like usually, I mean, it's late at night when I'm doing this. This is Sunday night for me. So I mean, I'm trying to think. I usually have the same amount of zeal at this time, or maybe I don't know. But I mean, it has been a week since I wrote this, so I mean, I kind of lost in my mind what I thought I was originally gonna do. But it all works out. Romans 8:28. All things work out for the greater good of those who love Him. But if you love videos like this, if you love videos, by my wife and I, that are at least for the sake of standing on the front line, Ephesians 5:11, having no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but exposing them. Please especially comment to show YouTube the algorithm that this video is engaging, so it pushes to others who may not know or have not received this revelation yet. Because again, I love a lot of information, having a lot to read off of. Usually I feel like I just boom, like this is just the background, but there's literally so much I have to go over that I didn't want to miss anything with you guys, right? But yeah, man, take care of yourselves, man. Just be vigilant. I'm not telling you to be paranoid, because that can work against you, but just be vigilant, man. You gotta understand, you're the most important person alive on this earth right now. You're gonna be one of the many vessels Yahuwah uses to fulfill the final days prophecy, second Exodus, all the other stuff that is make this video too long to name right now. But as I always say, there are many problems. We see the beast system rising all around us. We see the Antichrist about to rise. We see all the crap with the Strait of Hormuz. Check that video out tomorrow, Tuesday at noon. That should be up. If not, it'll probably be up Wednesday, but it should be up Tuesday. Check it out. But that one's gonna be. I can't wait to go in on that one. I'm ready. I'm so ready for that one. But as I always say, man, we see this stuff happening around us, but whether or not it happens in the next second before I even upload this video tomorrow, or it happens in the next year, understand that there are many promises in the Bible, but tomorrow is not one of them. This is why the Bible in Joshua 24:15 says, choose whom this day you will serve. Choose whom this day you will serve, right? Will it be, will it be the Most High Yahuwah? Will it be your career in this collapsing world? Will it be your lust? What will it be? The Bible tells us, Romans 10:13, for whoever shall call upon the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. Call upon his name. Proverbs 18:10 says, the name of Yahuwah is a strong tower, and the righteous run to it and are safe. Acts 4:12 tells us that there's no salvation in any other name under the heaven. John 14:6 says that Yahusha, under which name Yahusha said, I am the way, the truth, and life, and no man comes to me but by the Father. There's no salvation in any other name. No salvation in any other name but Yahusha. So again, what I would do is I would call upon Yahuwah. I would ask to have, I'd pray and admit you're a sinner in need of salvation, and pray and ask to accept Yahusha into your heart, the Savior, who died for us so that we can live for Him, because it's about to get ugly, man. It really is. It's about to get really ugly pretty soon. And in the same way that the Israelites had the blood on the doorpost that protected them from the destroyer and the judgment, if you don't have the blood of Yahushua on your doorpost, you're not going to survive what's coming. So, or you're just going to be herded into the camps and everything else and whatnot. So with that being said, man, I don't tell you this to scare you. Again, just reiterating that 1/3 and final time. I tell you this to be a vessel to prepare your mind, heart, and soul for the things that come, because these things are it's happening. It's happening, and I just want to make sure that you guys are well informed. Some people say I'm like a news channel. That's pretty cool, man. But I use these videos not as a, you know, not necessarily be everybody's main news channel, because I want you guys to become reliant on me. Although I am a very good resource for information, but I use these videos as a resource to encourage you to go to the source, which is Yahuwah, right? Go to His Word to learn what He says, because everything I'm telling you, for example, can be found in prophecy. This is just a correlation to Revelation 13 and probably somewhere in Daniel as well. Everything I'm telling you correlates back to the Word. You just have to sharpen your scripture, or not sharpen your scripture, but sharpen your skills in the scriptures, your discernment, your relationship with Him. Begin a relationship. Again, what do? You learn about somebody. How do you learn about Yah? You read His Word, okay? So again, once you start learning about Him, you'll build that relationship, but you just got to have that trust and that faith, man. Again, 2nd Ezra 16:75, 73 through 75. What's coming? Again, when they try to throw us out of our house, all this other stuff, like, it's going to show the fruit that's manifesting us, but as well, He's going to deliver us from the tribulation at hand. He really is. And verse 75, don't doubt. 2nd Ezra 16:75. 2nd Ezra 16:75, don't doubt. Because Yahuwah is your guide. He's going to guide us. So, with that being said, this video is probably a bit longer than I wanted it to be, I assume. But as I love you guys, as I always say, I love you guys. And if you stay prayed up, if you stay in the scriptures, main thing, because I'm not telling you anything that can't be found in the scriptures. If you stay vigilant, if you stay prayed up, and if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, man. I love you, family. Shalom, shalom.